When the lawyer sneered at the farmer's lack of formal education, no one in the courtroom expected the humble response that followed, one that left everyone in stunned silence, and even the judge in awe. The courtroom was alive with the usual buzz of chatter and movement, as the day's cases were being called one by one. Among those standing trial was an elderly farmer named Harold, a man of quiet strength, whose hands, rough and calloused from a lifetime of labor, told a story of dedication and perseverance. He stood accused of trespassing on his neighbor's land, a charge that, to many, seemed serious. Yet, there was no fear in Harold's eyes, only a steadfast resolve. Opposite him stood the prosecutor, a young and ambitious lawyer named Samuel, who was eager to prove himself in court. With a confident smirk, he began his opening statement, his words laced with an air of superiority. "Your Honor, the defendant, Harold Miller, has been accused of unlawfully trespassing onto his neighbor's property. He is nothing more than a simple farmer, a man who has no real understanding of the law, nor respect for his neighbor's rights. He believes his personal will is above the rules that govern us all." The courtroom murmured in reaction, some nodding along while others glanced at Harold, their expressions mixed with doubt and curiosity. But through it all, Harold remained still, his gaze firm, his composure unshaken. The judge, his expression stern yet impartial, turned his focus to Harold and asked, "Do you have anything to say in your defense?" The question hung in the air, the weight of the moment pressing upon everyone in the room. Taking a slow, deliberate breath, Harold finally spoke, his voice steady, unwavering. "Your Honor, I understand the accusation that has been placed upon me, and I assure you, I am not guilty of trespassing. The land in question is not my neighbor's, it is mine. It has belonged to my family for generations. I was simply standing on my own rightful property." A hush fell over the room. The murmuring stopped as Harold's words settled in. Samuel let out a scoff, shaking his head in disbelief. "This is absurd. You're just a farmer. What do you know about legal matters? You have no education, no knowledge of land ownership laws, and certainly no proof to back up your claims." But Harold, unfazed, offered a small, knowing smile, a glimmer of quiet confidence in his eyes. "I may be a simple farmer," he said, his voice carrying a weight that demanded attention, "but I know the value of hard work, honesty, and the truth. And the truth is, I do have proof. I have documents that show my rightful ownership of the land. If the court is willing, I can present them right now." A ripple of intrigue swept through the courtroom. People leaned in, eager to see what would happen next. Even the judge's expression shifted, his stern demeanor giving way to curiosity. Turning to the prosecutor, he asked, "Mr. Samuel, do you have any evidence to support your claims against Mr. Miller?" Samuel hesitated. The confidence he had wielded so boldly just moments ago was crumbling. "Your Honor, I do not have any evidence at this time." The judge gave a firm nod before turning back to Harold. "Mr. Miller, please present your documents to the court." Reaching into his pocket, Harold retrieved a worn, leather-bound folder, its edges frayed from years of careful handling. He handed it to the judge, who opened it with keen interest. The courtroom held its breath as the judge carefully examined the contents. His expression shifted, first from neutrality, then to astonishment. Finally, after a long moment, the judge looked up, his voice carrying a tone of disbelief. "These documents are authentic. They prove beyond any doubt that Mr. Miller is the rightful owner of the land in question. The charges against him are hereby dismissed." For a second, there was silence. Then, an eruption of applause. The courtroom was alive with cheers, murmurs of admiration, and a newfound respect for the man who had just turned the tables with nothing but the truth and unwavering humility. Samuel stood frozen, his arrogance now replaced with embarrassment. He had underestimated Harold, assuming that a lack of formal education equated to ignorance. But today, the so-called simple farmer had outsmarted him with dignity, wisdom, and undeniable proof. The judge, a man known for his fairness, looked at Harold with newfound respect. "Mr. Miller, You have demonstrated not only your rightful claim to your land, but also the strength of character that many could learn from. You are free to go." As Harold walked out of the courtroom, his head held high, his presence commanded admiration from all who had witnessed his quiet but undeniable victory. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Blacko Story. Let's reach 10,000 subscribers together and continue sharing powerful stories that inspire change, celebrate resilience, and uplift the human spirit. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next chapter of empowerment.